Want to hit your goals, if you want to create a better life, a better future for yourself and for your family, then it is time to start asking yourself, what do I got to change to actually transform myself so that I don't have to be setting the same exact goals and New Year's resolutions as I did last year? Hello and welcome to The Command Podcast, where our mission is to help you take command of your mind, your body, and your future, to create a powerful, effective individual who has a desire to immerse themselves in greatness, so that together as highly effective individuals, we can unify and assume command of our environments, our communities, and our country to become a self-governing people and do our part in preserving freedom. Join me on this mission of becoming the next generation of leaders to make living with integrity badass again. I'm your host, Trent Niebersol, and now it is time to take command. This is The Command Podcast number 37. And Happy New Year's. It's New Year's, January 1st, 2024. And I hope you didn't go out and drink too much last night. That completely sets you back on the first day of the year. That matters so much to so many people. Now, to me, New Year's is exciting. I'm not going to say that it's not exciting because it does sort of give you a feeling like you get to start out on a fresh slate. You know, you get to start out on January 1st, the new year, and you get to set new goals, and you get the next 12 months to try to see what you're made of. So I'm not going to bash on New Year's and New Year's resolutions and setting new goals, because I think it's pretty good because I do the same. Although I don't exactly believe in waiting until New Year's. I started a couple weeks ago with setting some new goals and actually acting upon them, like trying to put in 10 miles most days. I put 70 miles in about 9 days leading up to New Year's. Took a couple rest days so I could hit the ground running on New Year's. But I know a lot of people go out and they make poor decisions to party and drink too much on New Year's Eve. And, you know, sometimes that'll set you back a little bit. But what I want to talk about is actually hitting the ground running on New Year's and what you need to do to make that happen. So, and to be completely honest, I haven't even thought about what I'm going to talk about in this podcast. So hopefully it just kind of flows out of me and I come up with something that can help you. So let's say you have some health and fitness goals. If you set the same New Year's resolutions last year on January 1st as you did this year, that means that you didn't really follow through with your goals and your New Year's resolutions that you set last year. So what do we got to do to make a change this year to make sure you do hit those goals? That way next year in 2025, you're not setting the same exact New Year's resolutions as you did last year or that you did this year. Well, it all comes down to just doing it, just following through with the things that you said you were going to do. So last year I had a goal of doing better than I ever have, which I did. I did better than I ever have, but I didn't exactly hit all the goals that I intended to hit, especially business-wise. Had a great year at work, had a great year fitness and health-wise while working a busy blue-collar schedule. Got in the best shape I've ever got in during the busiest time of my work year, and that felt awesome. It made me happy with myself, and I learned a lot that I can share with other people to help them do the same. You know, getting in shape, eating healthy, getting a workout in while working 60, 70, sometimes even 80 hours a week, 12-hour days, 16-hour days, while still getting in shape and being happy with who I saw in the mirror. But this year is going to be different, and I want it to be different for you too. So I think the first thing that you need to do is you need to forget about making some improvements, and you need to think about actually transforming yourself into a new human being. So let's say your New Year's resolution is to lose 30 pounds or maybe 40 pounds, add some muscle and feel better about yourself. Maybe it's to make some more money and start investing your money rather than spending it on things that you don't necessarily need. Maybe it's to buy your first house. Maybe it's to buy your first piece of real estate, investment real estate, whatever it might be. Maybe it's to get a new job. Whatever it is, this year, I want you to write your goals down, and then I want you to sit there for 20 minutes and actually think about what that life would look like for yourself. What would it look like if you achieved those goals? What would you look like? What would your life look like? What kind of house would you live in? What kind of job would you have? What is that career you would want? Envision yourself at that job. Envision the skill sets you would need to get that job. Envision if you were to lose that 30 or 40 pounds and start building the muscle that you want to build so that you can look better and feel better about yourself. Envision what you would look like. Envision looking at yourself in the mirror, what you would look like. And even do this. This is something that I just started doing recently because it's the truest form of your body that you can see. Next time you're taking a shower, look down at yourself and look at your body. What do you see when you're naked? Are you happy with what you see? Next time you take a shower, if it's today, which hopefully it is, probably a good thing to shower each day, look down at your body in the shower and think, what do I want this to look like? And really ingrain that in your body. Do you want a six-pack? Do you just want to have more muscle? Do you just want to lose 30 pounds and not have a belly sticking out? Think about what you actually want and ingrain that in your head. Think about what you want your life to look like. What do you want your bank account to look like? What do you want your career to look like? What business do you want to start? What does that look like? What do you drive? All of these things. And then ask yourself, in that life that you're envisioning that you could be living 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the road, ask yourself, who would I need to become to create that life? What version of myself would I need to transform myself into to create that life? Because the things in the life and all of that stuff, the bank account, the freedom that comes with having more money in a bank account, the freedom that comes with when you actually invest your money into, things that are going to grow your money rather than just buying liabilities, buying fancy clothes or, a fancy car and getting an $800 or $1,200 car payment, all those things. What's more important than those things, you can have those things. You should probably invest your money first. You can have all those things, but what matters is who you must become as a person. What kind of mindset do you need to create that life? What kind of person do you need to become? What kind of skill sets do you need? What books do you need to start reading? What courses do you need to start taking? What coaching do you need to start doing? I'm not a college person. I never was. Barely got through high school. So I'm not going to ever say what college degree do you need unless you want to be like a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, or something along those lines where you kind of need to go to college because that's probably the best place to learn those particular skills. But think to yourself, what do I need to learn? Where do I need to go? What connections, relationships do I need to form? Who do I need to meet? Who do I need to start putting myself around? If you... The number one thing that probably decided whether you hit your New Year's resolutions and your goals last year, if you didn't, or if you did, the number one thing that probably determined that was the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you didn't hit your New Year's resolutions last year, ask yourself, if you're one of the people that maybe went out and had a good time last night, I'm not going to bash on it. I choose not to. I choose to go to bed early on New Year's Eve. This is New Year's Eve as I'm recording this. If you're listening to this on the day it's released, it is New Year's Day. I choose to go to bed early to get up and hit the ground running. I can't remember the last time I went out drinking for New Year's. I stay home so that I could be clear-headed and hit the ground running to actually start working towards those things. And I start weeks before New Year's. I try to keep going as hard as I can all through the year, but then I really start hammering down 2-3 weeks before New Year's even starts to get a head start. But I want you to ask yourself, if you're in the same exact place as you were last year, setting the same resolutions, who did you spend time with last year that could have kept you in that same place? Because we've all heard this, the saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And that's very true because you basically average out with who you spend time with. If you hang out with 3 people that are a little bit more than you, a little bit more knowledge about making money, investing, a little bit healthier and in shape, maybe 3 people that don't drink, 3 people that don't do any drugs, 3 people that make good decisions and are always improving and doing good. And then you hang out with 2 people that drink all the time and party all the time and just aren't going anywhere in life. You're going to be somewhere in the middle of those people. So I want you to ask yourself, if you're waking up today and you went out and had a good time, with the same people you had last year, and last year you didn't hit your New Year's resolutions, maybe it's time to start taking some accountability for that and think, do I need to start distancing myself from those people a little bit? Or should I have a conversation with these people and say, hey guys, I've been doing some thinking, and last year I set these goals and these resolutions for myself and I didn't hit them. And I realized that I spent so many nights going out on the weekends and having a good time and partying that, that's kind of what robbed me of hitting my goals. So would you guys want to start maybe doing some more productive things with me? Because I think that's a good conversation to have before you start distancing yourself from those people. But if you want to hit your goals, if you want to create a better life, a better future for yourself and for your family, then it is time to start asking yourself, what do I got to change to actually transform myself so that I don't have to be setting the same exact goals and New Year's resolutions as I did last year? So what do you maybe need to change? That's the number one question that you need to ask. Who do you need to become? Because when it comes down to it, the life, the bank account, all that stuff I was talking about, the new career, the new business, the new body, that all comes as a result of who you decide to become. And how do you become that person? Well, what does that person look like? What does their life look like? Again, what knowledge do they have? You start taking the actions to become that person. You start taking the actions and putting in the work to move into that new identity for yourself. So, where do we go from here? Exercise. You want a better body? Everybody wants a better body. Your health is the foundation of your life. So the first step to building a better life and a better future for yourself is taking command of your health and your fitness. What are you putting in your mouth? Are you eating high protein? Are you eating very little processed foods? Or are you eating all the crap, all the pizzas and cheeseburgers and all that on a regular basis? The first step would be for you to clean up your diet. And now your nutrition and your fitness are a snowball effect. If one lacks, the other one follows. So I recommend today, if it's New Year's Day, start getting a workout in. Go to the gym. Put your shoes on, walk out the door, go on a 30-minute walk. Go and lift a full body workout 3 days a week. And then clean up your nutrition, because you can't outwork a bad diet. Start eating high protein foods. Eat your body weight or your goal body weight in protein, grams of protein per day. Let's say you're 240 and you want to be 200. Eat 200 grams of protein per day. Prioritize protein over everything else. Cut back on the carbs. Cut basically all processed carbs and anything that's in a box with a bunch of ingredients in it out of your diet. Eat meat, vegetables, chicken, steak, fish, ground beef. Keep the ground beef to a little bit lower. A hack that I use is I mix ground beef and ground turkey together, because I think ground turkey tastes like shit, but if you add ground beef in with it, the fat in the beef makes it better, higher protein, lower fat. There's a little hack for you. Eat more meat, eat more fish, eat more chicken. Eat more vegetables. You don't have to have a bunch of rice. Cut back on the rice. Cut out all or most bread. And if you got to have some bread, find a bread like the Dave's Killer Bread that has 5 grams of protein. And try not to eat it all the time, because bread it's still a processed carbohydrate. So prioritize protein and build the rest of your nutrition plan around that. That's the best piece of advice I can give you when it comes to your diet, because for one, protein is going to make you full faster, and it is also thermogenic in nature. So it actually requires more calories to digest protein than any other macronutrient. So as you eat protein, your body's going to work harder to digest it, which means you're going to expend more calories in the digestion process. Next thing, don't eat within 2 hours of bed. That's an easy one. And then start exercising. Like I said, 30-minute walk every day, 3 full body workouts every day, and start following through no matter what. Because if you want to make this transformation in yourself, it's going to require a little bit of work on your part. And it's going to require you to form personal accountability with yourself. If you don't have personal accountability, maybe you need to go out to your friends and to some family, your wife, whatever, and say, hey, I want to become this person. I want to transform this year so that I'm not setting the same resolutions and goals in 2025 as I set this year. and ask them to hold you accountable. But you need to get to a place where you can hold yourself accountable. And you need to be able to believe in yourself to where you know that if you continue to put the work in on the days it gets hard, on the days where you'd rather eat a big steaming pile of dog shit than get out of bed, that you know and you believe that if you get out of bed anyways, on those hard days, on those days where you're just tired and you don't want to get out of bed, that you believe that if you do that, you will end up pretty damn close to where you want to end up. So you got to believe in yourself. And the good thing is my workbook here, which I'm putting out, as you guys know, all of the audiobook on this podcast. I have the next chapter recorded. It's a hard chapter for me. It's the About Me section where I talk about my life, and it was pretty hard to read. But I'm giving you guys all this for free. If you want a hard copy, you need to send me a message. I got some here at the house, and we also have the Kindle version on Amazon. So send me a message if you're interested. I also have a coaching program where I take you through this personally with one-on-one coaching, custom nutrition plans, custom workout plans, accountability where you can text me any time of the day, where I'll hop on calls anytime to hold you accountable, to make sure that you build personal accountability and belief in yourself and you achieve the body and the version of yourself that you want to create. So again, this walks you through the whole process, but of course I also offer one-on-one coaching to help you go through that process with all the customized health and fitness plans. But moral of the story today, guys, is if you don't want to be setting the same New Year's resolutions as you were setting last year and the year before in 2025, then you need to transform this year. You need to hold yourself accountable and you need to follow through with what you know you should be doing on the days that you don't want to do it. And if you fall off for a few days or a week, you need to have the wherewithal to pull yourself back together and get back on the path, because it is inevitably going to happen. But all that matters is that you notice it and you pull yourself back onto the path. So again, if that's something that you need some help with, I can do that. I'm also starting a community, The Command Project. It is a community of like-minded men who hold each other accountable, where we declare our goals, we build a brotherhood, and we hold each other to those goals no matter what happened, because we are becoming the highest. We're becoming personal excellent in ourselves so that we can unify and become the next generation of leaders to make living with integrity badass again. But it first starts with you becoming the best version of yourself, and that starts today, January 1st, 2024. What are your New Year's resolutions? Now, what are you going to do about it? What life do you want to create? Now, who must you become to create that life for yourself and your family? Believe it, visualize it, and become that person so that you are setting way better, way more exciting, way freaking more spectacular New Year's resolutions in 2025 and not the same ones you set this year and last year. So I hope you guys are hitting the ground running today on New Year's Day like I am, and I'm here for your guys' support. Thank you for supporting this show, this podcast, the YouTube channel, wherever you listen. I really appreciate you guys. Please share it with your friends, family, coworkers, anybody that you think would resonate with this message, anybody that you think needs to hear this message to get their shit together, to start taking command of their life starting today. So until next time, join me on this mission of becoming the next generation of leaders to make living with integrity badass again. I'm your host, Trenton Ebersole, and now it is time to take command.